So, good afternoon, all. Today we are sitting here to discuss on provisions that are relating to the liquidation under the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, which our board is planning to bring out in the form of regulations. And this entire regulation today, what we are next 2 hours, we are going to discuss on the provisions that are proposed to be introduced to strengthen the process of liquidation. Okay. So before taking into this discussion paper, because I got I prepared a small PPT on that, and we will discuss in depth also all the provision. I know we have all our friends again here, and this shows how much insolvency professionals are interested to see the changes in the provision. Of course, we will see whether these changes is really going to help us or whether it can be suitably modified to help us better. Probably this forum will help will help the IBBI to improve upon if anything is required based on inputs that may be given by us and that may be received by IBBI from various sources. Okay, today proceeding further, these discussion papers, what we are going to discuss, I thought we will just quickly go through, I'll share my screen. We'll quickly go through the basic provisions a few minutes, then it will be easy for us to connect, to the changes that we are, that IBBI is proposing and which we are going to discuss today. I'll share my screen and yeah. Yes, is that my screen is visible to you?
Yes,
sir.
visible, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Just a moment. Yeah. So the discussion paper that we are planning to discuss is something which is introduced on 20th October 2023 with the intention to strengthen the liquidation process by way of bringing the amendments which is proposed by IBBI. So before getting into this, I thought we'll have a basic idea about liquidation. I know majority of you or most of you must be having idea about liquidation provision in the IBC code, and most of you must be practicing also liquidation as a liquidator. So still, I thought we can simply brush up for a few minutes before we are getting into the discussion. Yeah, you all know that the process is two. One is court order liquidation under section 33. The other one is voluntary liquidation section 59. Of course, the voluntary liquidation provision has already been, already changes have been proposed, and we had a even discussion paper. Mr. Rajendran was doing. I was seeing it. So today, what we are going to witness is that liquidation by order of Honorable NCLT under section 33, and the provisions that we are going to talk is proposed changes that is going to take place after taking up all the comments of the public by IBBI. So, what are the situations where the liquidation take place? Is the situation is 4: non-result of resolution plan, rejection of plan, and committee of creditor decides to liquidate, and contravention of resolution. These are 4 situations. So, importantly, if you have to see when liquidation is triggered, as I was saying that these are situations where the order will be passed by the honorable NCLT to be liquidated, and the public announcement after the order of liquidation. Public announcement has to be given, and it should be informed to the statutory authorities as well. Now, these are the circumstances which we discussed. 4 situations I showed you in the previous slide. So, appointment of liquidator takes place under section 33. And what are the powers vested with the liquidator? Now we are going to see a lot of changes when we are going to discuss on the discussion paper. We are going to see all the changes. We will deliberate each one of the proposal which is being brought by IBBI. Every proposal we will discuss. And in fact, many of the changes are going to come in this section, 34 and 35, both in fees, liquidator fee aspects, as well as the powers of liquidator. Most of these provisions are, they are trying to bring some changes in these provisions. We will see one by one what are those changes that have been proposed. Okay. Now, what are the powers? What is already there in section 35 of the present IBC code is to, as you all know, that the liquidator is empowered to verify the claims, to take into custody of the corporate debtor and control and evaluate the assets and property and corporate debtors, and to take steps to preserve the assets and to carry on the business of the corporate debtor as good, beneficial liquidation. Here the changes is going to come in E and F, okay, and yeah, E and F, the change is going to come. I mean, the changes been proposed where if you see F, to sell the immobile, property actionable claim by way of public auction or private contract. Here, lot of changes are proposed, both in the action process as well as in the private sale. Both we will deliberate much in detail about the discussion paper. What is the changes that are proposed in the proposed amendments. Then these are the other powers that liquidator has got. Issuing promissory note, we must be exercising all this power. Whoever being acting as a liquidator must be exercising all this power. And another, obtain professional assistance and invite and settle the claim, and to institute and defend any suit. Here also the changes have been proposed in the proposed amendment. We will discuss in detail that also. To investigate into the financial affairs and to take such steps and to execute what are the papers are, and to apply to the AA whatever for the suitable orders or directions that may be required for the. In fact, many of the liquidators must be, I believe many of the liquidators must have filed application to exercise power under, class N of section 35 to move any miscellaneous application before adjudicating authority. Yeah, these are the powers and duties of the liquidator which we have seen. Now we will see what are the changes in proposed. Same way in the preparation of preliminary report, the changes has been proposed. Okay, now the present regulation 13 talks about regulation as per regulation 13 of the IBBI liquidation process regulation. It should be within 75 days from date of consultation. A preliminary report has should be prepared and should be submitted to the NCLT. Now, and as well as IBBI. Now, if you see that now the word of SEC is included in that. We will see much detail, we'll have much detailed deliberation what are the changes. Same way the content of preliminary report also now changes has been proposed now. What should be done, how it should be done, and we need to take inputs of the SEC also before finalizing the preliminary report. Those changes we will deliberate in subsequent slides and subsequent. Let's see here. It's about earlier dissolution. Here in this provisions also the changes have been proposed by IBBI. We will discuss that also in detail. But the present provisions, as if the existing provision is that after preparation of preliminary report, if the required feels the realizable properties of the corporate debtor are insufficient to cover the liquidation process, cost and affairs do not require any further investigation, and application may be moved before AA for earlier dissolution. Here also IBBI has proposed a few changes and what needs to be done, what should be considered before the liquidator proposing the earlier liquidation. That we will deliberate a little later after completing this existing provisions. Similar way, preparation of progress report. Here also certain changes are has been proposed by IBBI under regulation 15. I'll show you exactly what is the changes has been proposed, and it is a report which has to be prepared by the liquidator, which has to be submitted to the NCLT as well as to be submitted to the IBBI. Now additionally it is to be submitted to the SEC also with a few changes which we will be discussing. Same way the timeline is first progress report within 15 days, subsequent within 50 days from the end of the every quarter. Okay. Now these are the content of the progress report which we generally file every quarter with the Honorable NCLT. Going forward, we will be not only filing with the Adjudicating Authority and IBBI, also we will be submitting the progress report to the SEC. That's the amendment has been proposed now, which we are going to discuss. So these are the contents of the progress report, which is there in the existing provision. And these are the enclosures to the progress report today, how it stands today under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. And other enclosure, whatever needs to be done along with the progress report is this. And public announcement, as you all know, that the liquidator immediately has to come out with the public announcement. These and all we are, as a liquidator, will be doing it. Same way the submission of claim has to be done within 30 days. Specify what is the date for submission of claim within 30 days from date of liquidation commencement date has to be provided. And these are the routine which has been there in the present provision. We will not much change has come proposed in this regulation, but just for the knowledge sake, I'm brushing up all these provisions. An announcement has to be given, public announcement after the liquidation commencement. Within 30 days from date of commencement, all the claims approved shall be submitted by the stakeholders for the debt due to them. Okay, these are the present provision which is there. Same way, financial data has to give file a form and to the liquidator, Form D, and the OC has to file a form, operation data has to file a form in Form C. Same way, workman and employee, these are the routine thing, other stakeholder in Form G, and verification of claim. Here within 30 days from date of last date of receipt of the claim, all the claims received should be verified by the liquidator. Here it is very important the adjudication is done by claim by liquidator, not like the case of RP, where liquidator has got a power under the code to adjudicate the claim and approve the claim. Either he can approve and reject the claim or reject the claim. So within 7 days of the admission or rejection of claim, the liquidation shall be communicated to the creditor. Then within 40 days receipt of the liquidator decision, an appeal should be preferred by the creditor before the AA. So these are the provision which is now as of now in the regulations of the liquidation regulations. Same way, the preparation of list of stakeholders within 45 days from the last date specified in the result, a category of list of stakeholders shall be prepared and should be filed within 45 days. Should be filed. Should be given to the uploaded in the website also. And liquidation estate, as we all know that the liquidation is nothing but formed for the purpose of liquidation by the liquidator, and liquidator should hold the liquidation for the fiduciary. Not much changes have been proposed in these aspects. So these are the liquidation estate that we all must be knowing basically what are the liquidation. These are the inclusion which is down, and what are the exclusion is given on the top, and what are the inclusion is given in the down portion. So these are the inclusion and exclusion of the liquidation estate. We would have already done this exercise. Whoever acting as a liquidator of corporate debtor would have done it. And the asset realization, here there are a lot of changes are going to proposed by the IBBI, which they are seeking the public comments now. So a manner of sale and asset memorandum, valuation of asset sale report, and distribution of unsold assets, and all this. In fact, out of these things, if you see the manner of sale, asset memorandum, valuation of asset, all these the changes are proposed now. We will discuss in detail what are the changes are proposed in this. Same way, these are the other matters, what are the preferential transaction, undervalued transaction defrauding. Here also few changes have been brought in by, proposed to be brought in by the IBBI. We'll discuss those, what are those changes have been proposed. And same with the position of the secured creditor, whether he has to, release or relinquish. So then, in order to make sure that the liquidator commences this process, the section 52 makes it clear all this, the position of the creditors. These are the waterfall mechanism under section 53 of the code, insolvency code, INB code. And not much change has been proposed these regulations, because this is taken care of in the code itself, and in the regulation talks in different aspects. Now opening a bank account, distribution of process, unclaimed process, all that. Even the claiming also, there's a changes have been introduced, proposed to be introduced by IBBI. How to claim? If someone claims from the corporate liquidation account, then IBBI should make sure that they are getting the report of the liquidator before proceeding it. So all this we'll discuss now. Liquidator, I should make sure that the process is completing within 1 year, and the final report has to be filed under regulation 45. You all know that earlier it was only on dissolution. Now closure of liquidation process is sufficient for filing a final report along with the Form H. We will discuss what are the changes proposed in Form H and what are the provision that has to be kept in mind. IBBI is proposing now, to be included in Form H. All that we will discuss now. Same way the dissolution also, early dissolution, some changes have been proposed now, and we all know that after the process is over, whether closure of liquidation process or after completion of distribution, the dissolution application has to be filed by liquidator before adjudicating authority. Then once the order comes, then it has to be intimated to the ROC. So these are the basic provisions of liquidation. Now, I want you to take one by one the points, which I thought we can deliberate one by one, so that so each point we will deliberate then and there, or we'll finish entire thing, and I think that will confuse. Better to deliberate every point, then go to next point, so that that will be easy for us to to move forward and give our comments also. And I think Madam must be watching this and taking our feedbacks and inputs also. We'll also from our side, if whatever possible, we'll give our inputs after the closure of this discussion. So these are the points. What are the points that the government means the IBBI is proposing to bring in the form of amendment to the liquidation regulation? We'll see one by one what are the amendments that has been proposed, is being proposed by IBBI, and which they need a comment of the professionals and public to strengthen the liquidation process. Yeah, this is the point number one. I have almost to say, I'll say how many points. Yeah, almost 18 points we have to discuss now. So these are the points which are proposed by IBBI to bring in as amendment and the changes in the liquidation regulation. Okay. So now point number one. Okay. So what point number one? So action notice shall provide that prospective bidder shall undertake that they are eligible under section 29A of the IBC 2016 to participate in the auction process. It shall also provide that in case the bidder at any stage during the auction is found to be ineligible, his EMD shall stand forfeited by the liquidator. This is a new provision that has been proposed and proposed to be introduced in Schedule 1 as Class 5A in Schedule 1. I request the views of members so that we can see what are the inputs that we can give. We can consolidate and we can. And is there any addition or any inputs or any suggestions that as professionals that we wanted to give? We can deliberate and we can give our feedback. Any inputs from participants? I think the forum is open. This is a discussion forum. This is not like a webinar where the speaker has to give the inputs. Here, the program is organized to collect the inputs, not to give the inputs. See, that's the purpose of this discussion paper. This purpose of this discussion. I request the inputs of the participants. Any inputs, or I can call by name. So, which would be better?
Sir, I am Satya Devi from Chennai.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me, ma'am.
Sir, already we are putting this clause in the tender document. Already we are doing that.
Okay, ma'am.
Already there is a provision that they should be eligible under, they should be eligible under section 29. They should not be disqualified.
Okay, ma'am.
Why already we are putting all these terms in the tender document. Without this clause, no tender document goes out.
Fine, ma'am. But here, correct, you are right, ma'am. Already we are putting what they wanted us. Now they wanted to bring this as a mandatory this thing. Earlier we were putting
Hmm.
just to safeguard our interest. We were putting this, correct?
So
To
that
just to safeguard our
29A, they should be eligible. It is already there.
Hmm.
EMD for feature is not there,
Hmm.
but this is already there.
There. Now they wanted, see, earlier you were putting and many liquidator may not be putting, right?
Hmm.
Now they wanted everyone to put.
Hmm.
Okay, now they wanted to make it as a point that the e-auction notice,
Hmm.
this is the first proposal that IBBI wanted to bring a changes in Schedule 1. Okay, wherein they are, say, the IBBI proposing that the action note shall provide that the prosecutor shall undertake that they are eligible under section 29A. So that means they wanted to clearly spell out in the action notice itself that the prospective bidder should undertake that they are eligible. In case they are undertaking, in fact, the bidder sometimes they may undertake that no, they are eligible. But when we investigate and after due diligence, we may find it they may not eligible, but they would have falsely given a undertaking. In which case, the liquidator should have a power to forfeit the EMD, right? There should be enabling provision to forfeit. Otherwise, that will go for the debate or that will go for the dispute. It will be the issue will be raised before adjudicating authority, so that if the issue should not be raised before adjudicating authority, then it should be a law. That should be an enabling provision. So that's what the IBBI is proposing. I think this should be a welcoming one that we have to see that this, if this will enable the liquidator to forfeit the EMD.
Forms are.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me.
So this it is already in the e-auction notice through the e-auction process document, which we are uploading in the website. So these undertakings or confidentiality, all these are already there. But of course, it is a welcome move. My doubt is whether this clause has to be in the main body of the public announcement or not.
If you have to see exactly, the action notice shall provide prospective bidders. Okay, that means they wanted to bring action notice. We will see the respective amendment. Okay, what they are going to amend? I was showing that they are going to amend in schedule.
No, as already the madam said, we are already doing it. My question is whether it should be in the body of the notice, public notice, or can it be like in the already included in the e-auction process document? That's
Now schedule 1 is getting amended to insert. Okay, that see after class 5, I'll show you in that. Yeah, just a moment. Where it comes, I'll show you so that you will understand better. Yeah. We will see it in the provision itself so that it will be easy for you.
And we have been taking this in a duly stamp paper, duly notarized affidavit in Annexure B, affidavit and undertaking.
Yeah.
Regarding the disclosure eligibility under section 29A. Read the proviso to section 35A F of IBC.
So see 5A. No, can we finish this?
Yeah.
If we see schedule, the 5A proposed to be inserted. This is the changes proposed.
Okay.
So what the schedule 1 is going to sound after this amendment takes place, how it is going to sound, the schedule 1 going to have a provision of 5A, where it's going to say the action notice shall mandatory state that prospective bidders shall confirm their eligibility under 29A of the code department. That
Anyway,
means the
I'm
code
not,
is carry.
No, sir, anyway, I'm not disputing. It is a welcome move only.
Yes.
Reduces the responsibility of liability of the liquidator also, no doubt.
Yeah, correct. Yes, to some extent, that becomes the responsibility of liquidator. Earlier, we keep doing as a matter of convention, we are doing actually. Actually,
Okay.
provision does not give that authority to us, actually speaking. Conventionally, we are doing just to safeguard the interest, and also we need to follow the provision of section 29A of the INB code. We were doing the earlier, but they are going to make it as a mandate. Now that action note itself should provide it. That means
Okay.
that will go. This is going to help us, correct?
Yeah.
So I think then we have to say that it should be that should be a good move where it gives powers to the liquidator to forfeit. Otherwise, if liquidator forfeit, as I was referring, immediately they will approach adjudicating authority, right? Because there is no pollution, the liquidator has on his own he has taken a decision to forfeit. Though e-action document provides for, still they can always invoke a principle of natural justice and say that this is against natural justice, right? They will go and they will raise the issue before the adjudicating authority, judicial forum, so that the liquidator face a problem. So now, by bringing this provision, I think liquidator given a legal mandate or assurance that they can put a condition in the action notice itself that the prospective bidder should undertake to say that they are eligible. So that means if their declaration is wrong, then the liquidator automatically gets the power to forfeit the EMD. So any other inputs, any other points? We'll move on to next one. Yeah. Same the case as other another participants was you were telling of that we are already taking only conference, all that we are doing it. Now again, if you see again the IBBI wanted to make it as a they want to codify it actually. See what we are conventionally doing. So then now IBBI felt that it is important now to codify it, that they are doing it now. Okay. So now point number 2, they are going to bring in schedule 1 in 1F. Okay. So what they are going to do that to ensure confidence in name or prospect, the manner in which I will show you 1F. Okay. So here a prospective bidder. Confidentiality details. It should be notified to the. So this is what it says. A prospective bidder in an e-auction shall deposit EMD in the manner notified. Right. So that IBBI will notify that how it should be dealt with. So we have to further wait and see. Even after this, this is only giving an enabling power to the IBBI to issue a circular to make sure that how the EMD and how it should be dealt with. So I think the IBBI will come out with the circular how that the name of the prospective bidders, how they should be maintained and how it should be given to whom should be given and the manner how the EMD should be dealt with. All that the IBBI will come out with this in the form of circular. In order to give a power to the IBBI to issue circular, they are bringing this particular provision to enable them to issue a circular if required in future. Yeah. So coming to point number 3. So that anyway we have to wait for the IBBI circular to deliberate. The point number 2. So probably once IBBI comes out with circular, we'll have a better clarity now. Point number 3, again, if you see schedule 1 and 12A is proposed to be inserted, wherein it says the liquidator shall within 3 days of declaration of highest bidder should conduct due diligence and verification of eligibility of the bidder who stood as H1, highest bidder in the action process. So this is the another important point which the proposal given by the IBBI carries. This is the again the third one which I was showing there in the beginning. This is the third proposal which brought out by as proposal 1. I think I request the participants, if you have any views, you can offer that that now going forward, the liquidator is expected within 3 days of declaration of the highest bidder to conduct a due diligence and verification of the eligibility of the bidder. As it is, after completing this process only, the liquidator gives a tag of qualified bidder. Then again, after, I think now IBBI want to make sure, furthermore, they want to make sure that before the highest bidder is getting a, sale certificate or getting a confirmation of sale, that the IBBI
Sir.
wanted. Yeah.
Sir, this regarding this point number 3, see,
Yeah.
is it because earlier we used to do the pre-mortem,
Hmm.
now seems to be like a post-mortem. What is the point in doing a post-mortem? We must do a pre-mortem. That is, whether the capacity, capability, and competence has to be ascertained relating to the each bidder by studying or due diligence based on the documents provided by them on 29A, bank credibility, and all those things. I cannot understand why it is after this bidding, because if it is ineligible, we can inform them so that their EMD will not be forfeited. Here, what happened? If on a postmortem, they will lose their EMD.
Yes, a good point actually. In fact, that's what I also started before leaving it for discussion. I told my view that after completing this formalities only, after seeing KOC and all that detail only, that we are permitting the bidder to participate after getting the EMD. Before getting EMD, the equator is generally ensuring that the KOC norms and the eligibility criteria is met by the right. So now, now doing post-mortem job, as you said, suppose the liquidator after due diligence, if the liquidator find that the H1 builder is ineligible or some of the important eligibility requirement is not meeting out, then in which case, if EMD is forfeited, then the bidder will raise the point that these things should have been seen earlier. Can we say then going forward in the information document, e-action information document, then going forward as liquidator will come out with a statement saying that notwithstanding anything stated in the document, that after completion of e-action process and finding H1 bidder, still the liquidator reserve right to do a due diligence, or still the liquidator is duty bound to do a due diligence, and if the liquidator finds an ineligibility or any inconsistency with the H1 builder, and the liquidator will forfeit the EMD. Then we have to come out with a disclaimer clause going forward that even though liquidator does due diligence before qualifying a bidder as a qualified bidder, now liquidator have another, they have to give I think so. They have to come out with another point in the e-action process document stating that after completion of e-action process also within 3 days, the liquidator reserves his rights to do a due diligence. Am I right?
I don't agree with that. We may propose or suggest that it may be treated as a precondition, not as a post condition after the auction. It is anyway. I'll be writing that also to IBBI.
See, right now the law says that within 3 days the due diligence has to be done. Then it should not happen the bidder raising a point saying that the law says only after after
Yeah.
I become H1 only, you are supposed to do due diligence. Why you are asking now?
Mm.
Can you say that?
No, instead
Come
of that,
again?
I feel that some provision to penalize the bidder for the false declaration
Yes.
already furnished and the basis on which the due diligence was done can be enforced instead of like this.
No, even not
I-
only 3 days,
Mm.
even 30 years also. If there is a forged information, wrong information
Mm.
like that, it should be penalized.
That is
There
what
is already a provision. So,
penalizing provision
yes, should be not
be
the 3
enforced.
days after bidding. So, this anyway, my humble suggestion, which we may,
I
if you
think
wish, you
more
can,
than,
but I will be informing.
you have more than 100 participants, but only 2 voices are coming. What happened? Other participants. I think this is not our problem. This is entire problem, right? It's
Yes,
not.
yes.
It's a problem of person who is discussing. You know, it's an entire problem to our community itself. Tomorrow, when we handle the matters, we're supposed to handle the scenario, right? So I think better to deliberate now so that if things are escalated to IBBI now itself, I think IBBI will have opportunity again to review and do a suitable modification if required. I think I request the participants to offer your comments.
Can I say something, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, one suggestion that I have is what sir was telling. We should have it during the pre-bidding process, because in case somebody has done false claim and we find out he is not eligible, the entire auction is the process period is lost, and you will have to do a re-auction, which is a loss of time and a loss of efforts and energy. So it is better to do it in the pre-process, and whoever is ineligible should be removed, so that only eligible people are bidding and you get the best value.
Yeah, see, the idea is that only due diligence. In fact, any information document we keep seeing, and we are doing also in any e-auction process. That due diligence is done well before allowing them to participate in the e-action. So what else then we have to see after e-action? That we have to, I think, get a clarity from IBBI that what the aspects that has to be seen before allowing them e-action, what aspects has to be verified after allowing them, after they become H1 bidder. So
Miss-
this clarity, I think, should come.
No, all the more, we want to know what is the intention of this specific inclusion. Can you explain or elaborate on that?
See,
What?
idea is that it should not happen. The sale is going to a wrong person. They want to be doubly sure. That should be the intention. So they wanted to make sure that even after H1 bidder, even just because of he became H1 bidder, it doesn't mean that he should have a cakewalk to buy it. The liquidator should make sure because the liquidator has to see that the sale is completed properly. In fact, in filing in Form H, he has to give all the detail. That all the process has been completed properly, all that. So they wanted a liquidator to doubly make sure that the H1 bidder who are going to get the. In fact, you can even read also. It's not that that we have to presume something. They make it very clear. You see here in the point what they are trying to say.
Yeah.
They are making it very clear. See. We have to then read only then to understand this.
Sir, we may ask a bank guarantee from the bidders, sir, successful bidder.
No, already EMD itself is kind of a bank guarantee only they are giving, right? See,
No, what
When
do
they
you want
give
to
wrong
refer?
information, we have to penalize them, sir.
sorry?
No, Mr.
They give wrong
Dhanapal was saying we have to read which portion we have to read
Yeah,
again.
no, this only is the portion. See, after this review only they are coming out this proposal.
No,
See,
no, you said refer or read. Which portion is specific on this?
that's what.
Is it item number C?
Yeah, it's see here
Yeah.
item number 3. I'm saying
Yes.
the reason that we were discussing. No, the reason.
Yes.
That reason only they are narrating it, they are only coming out with the proposal.
Where
See-
is it narrated? Can you please?
Yeah. See, they are narrating why. See, these are the 4 proposals.
Yeah.
They are bringing it now. For why they are bringing it, the IBBI narrating. Okay. See,
Where is it regarding point number C? Because
yeah, from here we have to read, then only we will understand what exactly
Yeah.
the IBBI
yeah,
want us. Schedule 1 provides timeline for specific events. So that's what they
yes,
are. At least 14 days submission for eligibility
it
document.
is there. It's
Declare-
already there.
Provide at least 7 days then for inspection of. Thus, Liquidator to conduct due diligence of all prospective bidders before they can participate in action, which generally are involved. So here
Correct.
itself they say Liquidator to conduct due diligence here itself. But here they are saying verification of KOC documents, all that. Here
Is
the
it?
IBBI says. Now, further the Liquidator declares the highest bidder in an action as a successful bidder. However, the Liquidator may reject the highest bid if does not seem to maximize. This is another point which we need to discuss. Schedule 1 provides that on payment of full amount by the highest bidder, sale of the stall shall stand completed and Liquidator shall execute the. Okay, these are the process
No,
which we are following.
No, sir. That is already there. But the second para is relating to that other compliances and other. But regarding this 3 days postmortem only, I raised my doubt.
Yeah,
That's
see,
all. It
these are
is
the-
not clarified there.
these are the
Anyway, leave
points.
it.
These are the
Understood.
points.
It is clarified in point number 6 too.
Exactly.
That instead of doing the verification for all the bidders, in this revised, they are proposing that you do the verification only of the H1 bidder.
Hmm.
So the liquidator's work will go down, his scope of work will go down.
Yeah. Yes, it is increasing the workload only, and of course, the same process is done before allowing them to participate. See,
Yes.
the point you are asking, I was trying to explain that only. This is the reason they are giving. Actually, it's not exactly pinpointed what exactly why it is, but this is the reason which I was showing. This is the reason the IBBI is providing. After that, they are coming out this proposal after providing all this. So they are not exactly making it why specifically they wanted to conduct due diligence after declaration of H1 bidder. That too after declaring H1 bidder. That means we are informing the bidder that he is the highest one. After informing, within 3 days they wanted to complete a due diligence. But exactly what is the reason for that? That they are supposed to explain here. But not exactly that portion is. Here they are.
So they have given the reasons above in point number 6. They have 4 points they have given.
Yeah, correct.
Little up, sir.
Yes. So, see, these 4 points they are giving, proposal they are giving, after narrating all these points, what earlier points I was showing. These 4 proposals the IBBI is giving. Out of the 4, only third we are discussing now. So, why we need to do that? IBBI only should come out and clarify the logic behind it and reason behind it, why they want it.
Correct.
They wanted. Okay, because it is not clearly spelled out per se in the discussion paper. If anyone else can see anywhere in the discussion paper, you can tell. I could not.
Sir, above, go to point number 6. They have given 4 reasons why they have come out with this.
Point number
6.
okay.
Little above, sir. Little above this.
Proposal 6, point number 6 you are telling.
No, over here only, sir. Just go little above.
Exactly,
little
that only I'm saying. Earlier only. Here it's not directly spelling out what exactly it is. See, here it is not really addressing what exactly the reason for insisting liquidators to do due diligence after declaration of H1. That point is not clearly coming out here, and that's what I'm trying to say here. So they have to come out. Probably we can put a point that IBBI should come out and say what exactly the reason, rationale behind it, and what exactly the liquidator has to see as a postmortem, means after identifying the H1 bidder. Though liquidator is doing that process much earlier, before participating in the e-action.
So, sir, now he's not supposed to be free. He is not supposed to do verification of all the bidders in the pre-bidding process.
Yes.
After this modification, only the H1 bidder will have to verify after the auction is complete.
Yes, yes. Actually, before action, we'll be doing due diligence or we'll be doing KYC verification and verifying records, all their background, all that. We'll be seeing all the bidders who are expressing their interest. But here, probably that's what, after identifying a H1 bidder, the IBBI wanted to give a specific focus and do due diligence much more deep. I don't know. But here the question comes, then what happens then in that due diligence after identifying H1 builder, if there are some lapses are, unearthed in the due diligence, then the liquidator forfeit the EMD after the due diligence done, after identifying H1 builder. Whether will it be challenged, will it not be challenged by H1 builder? But after permitting me and after declaring me as the H1 builder, how could you can again do a due diligence? All these things could have been done earlier. Whether that issue will be raised by H1 bidder, we have to wait and see.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to declare that person as H1 bidder. You have to first, the H1 bidder, whoever is there, you do the verification, then call the stakeholder committee meeting. In the stakeholder committee meeting, you pass that, and after that, you issue the sale certificate. And modification is there accordingly.
Yes.
You're not conveying to the other party that you are the H1 bidder.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, a small clarification.
Tell me, man.
Suppose after due diligence, suppose if they are bringing in like this, after due diligence, and if he is found to be ineligible, his EMD is getting forfeited. So they can also add by law saying that the next H1 bidder is going to be the bidder, or auction should be cancelled. That also they can be clear on that.
Yes.
Actually,
Another-
yeah.
And if
That's a
then
good point.
that way it gets complete. If they
Mm.
want to include this, they have to put that also.
That's what we have to wait and see that we should not give a scope to the H1 builder to file a case against the liquidator.
No, that is next thing.
Sir,
But
right now
from the
I'm
point of
online.
view of the liquidator,
No,
After 4:45, I will be free, sir.
one night at a time. I think some
Right.
fast track is coming. Madam, I think someone is
not from my officer.
no. I'm saying our Anjali madam, organizer madam. I'm saying fine.
Yes, sir.
Please. No. Someone was talking in between, madam. Okay. I wanted you to mute them. Okay. Fine, sir. So now we have to see really whether liquidator should not end up getting another case. that this due diligence should have been done much earlier, doing before completing the process. Now you are coming after declaring me H1. You are telling all these points. Is it not? Will they not have a right to question that? The H1 bidder?
Will they try to give wrong details when he is not
but
when he is
you're
not
not supposed to
qualified? Can he
declare
give an
H1.
affidavit saying he is qualified?
As
Is
per
it
the
right?
proposed changes, you're not supposed to declare H1.
That's what. That wrong
also
detail, the H1 bidder may say that that wrong detail should have been unearthed or should have been identified by you before allowing me e-action.
Sir, as per the changes proposed, you're not supposed to declare H1 before doing verification.
Sorry?
Is what?
Sir, you're not supposed to declare H1 before doing verification.
Yeah, correct. After verification H1, after declaring H1 person, if suppose he asks, I'm just putting you deliberation only, not the situation which may or may not arise. Okay. I'm just asking the question if it comes to liquidator, that the agent bidder is asking that what are now you found after declaring me as a successful bidder, something you found that I have not complied or given a wrong declaration. Why that could not be done before you are allowing me to e-action? That could
But
have
then that is as per the law we are doing it. We are not creating law is modified. So we are following the law. Why we didn't do before? Because the law says don't do before.
that means can we say that the liquidator is given a power to do due diligence even after that, because the law provides for now after
No,
amendment.
it is not the power, sir. He's supposed to do it only after H1. Before that, he will not even come to know.
Okay, so that means basically this is fair only doing due diligence after declaration of H1 bidder. Is it fair only?
You are not supposed to declare H1 bidder. Identify H1 bidder, do the verification, go to stakeholder committee, finalize in the stakeholder committee, and then
Yeah,
declare H1 bidder.
Yes, yes, you are correct. Your point is right. We have to go and consult with the SEC and do all that exercise. That I'm putting this only that then can we say that's a provision is
No, sir, this is a concern, because then how do we know the stakeholders will be aware or thorough with the bidders? Because it is the duty of the liquidator. How do they know that the stakeholders are thorough with the bidders, their eligibility, their capacity, their competence and capability? Only a liquidator. Anyway, I already stated it should be a pre-mortem, otherwise it will only delay due to litigations. That's all my submission.
Any other input, sir? I think we have more than 100 participants now. I could see 100.
Sir, I am Ashok Kumar Gulecha from Mumbai.
Please.
No one prevents to do pre-mortem. They are giving us the extra 3 times. What is the bet behind that? That is it is as per regulation, liquidator, if already he has done due diligence, he has again extra 3 days time. Suppose any information comes from any side that is there. So what is the bet in that one? Why we are giving so much press that no, after 3 days it should not be given. It is for our benefit, sir. That is okay, na? Earlier, suppose there are 10 bidders. We have done due diligence of 10-1. Now we have to only some more concentrate on only one. That is the H1. So that some more time we can more concentrate, and we are extra 3 times. Suppose 1st November is the auction date. Now on 4th November up to 4th November we have to find that's okay. We have done due diligence. Prior to that also we have done for all the 10 bidders. Suppose I think it is not bad, sir. It is.
See, we can answer the H1 bidder if we ask anything. We can answer, but that's another opportunity the liquidator gets, that the assets are not going in the wrong hand.
Correct, sir.
Correct. That's another opportunity the liquidator is getting to make sure that WE is making sure that the assets are not going, or company is not going in the wrong hand. Okay. I think law gives that power. Why to skip that, or why to avoid it? Let's
correct.
Try to
it is good for us also.
Yeah, try to make use of it. Okay, good. I will go to next one. I think out of 100 only we get 3-4 views only. Other 90 is going to follow whatever 3-4 is giving the view. Same thing, other 90s are going to follow. I don't know. So if anything else is there, please give out. This is the time where we can really give out our our ideas and views. And of course, someone will see in a negative perspective, someone can see in a positive perspective. So that's the idea of this discussion paper. Okay, so that if majority is in a positive, IBBI will take it forward. So if it is a negative, they may consider. So idea is that only to seek the view of public and professionals. Please open it. Let's open up for the discussion. Okay. Now the next point, which I think now we are to some extent we could able to comprehend that, okay, that's anyway going to benefit us. Why to unnecessarily, we have to too much deliberate on that, right? Point number 4, liquidator shall place before SEC for its consideration under regulation 31A the result of the action, the details of the highest bidder, the due diligence conducted by him on its eligibility, and the result of such due diligence. In case the highest bid above reserve price is not acceptable for any reason to the liquidator, the consultation with the SEC shall be mandatory. Yeah. Any points on this? So this is the 4th point. This is the 4th point in the same proposal. And here they wanted to give this reason only, that to address the issue, it is proposed to allow the prospective bidders in the action process on the basis of affidavit declaration in case liquidator submitted wrong affidavit, then okay. So stand for the forfeiture will act as a deterrent and ensure only sees an eligible person enter the process. Further, since bidder would be careful in submitting the correct information, the possibility of forfeiture would be rare. So, and as the liquidator will consult the SEC before effectuating the forfeiture, the possibility of misuse of this proposed provision will be insignificant. So it is also proposed that in case the highest bid above reserve price is being rejected by the liquidator for any reason, consultation with the SEC will be mandatory. That's what the reasoning given by IBBI. In the proposal class D, they wanted that liquidator should place before SEC for consideration in Regulation 31 the result of the auction, the details of the highest bidder, and the due diligence conducted by him on its eligibility, and the results of such due diligence. So these all should be placed before the SEC. Any views on that? So will the liquidator will be able to do all that within the time frame and take their inputs of the SEC also. So that the idea of taking inputs of SEC is that to make sure that the correct decision is taken by liquidator with the inputs of the SEC. Is it not? Can we say it is going to help us?
Sir, I think this clause is more to avoid any kind of a mischief by the liquidator when the H1 is more than the reserve price and to scuttle the H1. Then he has to have a valid reason, and this is like a check on the liquidator that is not doing anything for vested interest.
So the only thing is the timeline only is a thing. Immediately the liquidator should see that that liquidator is placing before SEC. Immediately he has to see that he is whether the meeting has to be conducted or how it has to be done. All that we have to see, because if you see 12B is inserted. If you see schedule 1, 12B and 12C is inserted. I'll take you to 12B and 12C down. So that exact language. See, the liquidator shall present the action result, details of this is coming in the schedule. Okay, part of the schedule. Schedule 1. The liquidator shall present the action results, details of the highest bidder, and the duties conducted on it to the consulting committee under 31A. The liquidator shall declare the highest bidder as successful bidder or reject such bid after consultation with the consultation committee. Then in which case,
All point.
here,
Shivaraman.
I think again.
This is Shivaraman here, sir.
Yeah, tell me, sir, please.
Calling an SEC meeting takes you 5 days or 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I'm wondering, I'm reading how it is possible within the time to comply, and you have to declare, and also a letter of intent also should be taken. All this should be done in time bound manner. So now here if you I think probably participants can give your inputs. If you see 12C, it talks the liquidator shall declare the highest bidder as successful bidder or reject such bid after consultation. Whether rejection alone after consultation or successful declaring successful bidder also after consultation, how it should be taken?
Both.
Both. Oh, okay. That means even to declare the highest bidder a successful bidder is only after consultation. Is it so?
It looks like that.
But somewhere I read in another place of the same paper that it is mandatory on part of the liquidator if bid is, if he rejects. You remember, it was reading that way here. I'll show you that proposal. I think we are in proposal 1 only. We have to see much more. I have to speed up. Okay. See, here the proposal you see, what the language I am saying. The liquidator shall place before SEC for its consideration under regulation 31 the result of action, details of the highest bidder and due diligence by him and his solicitor, result of in case the highest bid above reserve price is not acceptable for any reason to the liquidator, the consultation with the SEC shall be mandatory. That means if the highest bid is not accepted by the liquidator, then the consultation with the SEC shall be mandatory. That's how it sounds. I think that languaging in the regulation and the discussion paper, is it okay? You could able to coincide both. There it was saying, that's what I put that point. You were telling about both declaration of successful bidder as well as rejection, both need a consultation of SEC. But here it says like this.
Not matching. It's not matching.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's different actually. Even for decline and for acceptance also it is required there in the regulation, proposed regulation. But here it is.
Here you see how it's sounding.
Yes.
It's sounding other way that in case the highest bid is accepted, consultation with the SEC is not mandatory.
Here it says only in case of rejection.
Yeah. Suppose if it is not rejected, then consultation with the SEC is not mandatory. That's how it is going to say other way around. I think the clarity has to come. I think we need to move on to next. But here you see there is a clarity lack. That's why I stopped and said it only the regulation only says rejection, not otherwise. I was saying that only. Since you are see,
Sir, sir, this point should very categorically say, as a successful bidder when the price is not accepted by the liquidator. That should come as a point. It should be adding that line. You should not, if you say it like this, successful bidder or reject, that means what? It connotes that both has to be told to the SEC that I am confirming it or rejecting it.
But the reasoning is not that way.
The reasoning is not coming that way.
Correct. Not coming that way. Okay. So I think this should be, the feedback should be given. Feedback should be given to IBBI so that at least either the reasoning they have to give.
Sir, the reasoning is, if you refer the amendment, regulation amendment on 16th September 22, the intention of IBBI is to involve SEC in almost all the decisions.
Yes.
1, 2, this even in the SEC they are giving the power. Even in my recent one direction I filed, they said where is the minutes of the SEC? Even though it was not required, fortunately I taken and provided. They gave me the positive direction. Same way, the intention is they should be fully aware of what is happening. That is mentioned more clearly in the proposed paper also.
Okay.
Thank you.
So both should be then both should be.
It should be. It should be.
Should be that way only. Okay.
Sir, one point I wanted to make is that, sir, earlier, liquidator had a lot of flexibility in conducting these, process of liquidation. Now it is more becoming like a CRP where there is a COC whom one has to go for every decision, sir. I don't think this is the correct path to go. Means it's a very broad suggestion, I understand, but I don't think it's a correct path to go where, it becomes another form of a CRP itself.
Yeah, it's an extension of CRP, looks like.
And second thing is you're calling a liquidator as quasi-judicial authority.
No longer.
You are not even you are just like a person, like any other person.
Sir, liquidator becomes more like a clerk who is just there to serve the whims and fancies of the SEC members.
So it looks as though that for each and everything, if I have taken my food in the morning, I need to say I've taken food in the morning. Then I have to say I've taken my lunch in the afternoon. Then I have taken my dinner in the night. It is sounding
No, sir,
like that.
before taking the food also, you have to inform them that I'm going to take the food, and after taking the food, you again need to inform that I've taken the food. So it's like, what I feel is we should protest as to these regulations and say that these regulations itself should not be brought into effect.
Any other views, participants? Yeah. Nearly
Sir.
10 participants are there. I'm hardly getting any
Sir.
views.
Sir, the more you tie the hands of the liquidator, will the liquidator act freely? Will he be able to do justice to what he is doing?
So these type of things will only delay the process, sir. Actually,
And
conducting SEC meeting and taking their consent or not taking all these things, will add delay. The process will get delayed.
And second thing is, for each and everything, whether you, for example, there is a sale which is happening. You are saying once in a month, I have to call for an SEC.
Yeah.
Right? If the sale happens in between, you call for one SEC meeting, again you have to call for an SEC meeting. The notice period is 5 days. Does it sound correct? Does it sound correct?
I think
Sir, on top of that, many members in the SEC are not financial creators. So they do not even understand and appreciate. There would be some statutory authorities and all, and they take endless time to give their decision. I don't think these things will work. This will basically bring a good end to the entire IBC.
See, actually, as you said earlier, the liquidator was given as independent role. Now the role has been diluted. Everything made subject to SEC. Almost one by one they are bringing. So almost like a CRP, where CRP, the RP is expected to go by the directions of COC. Now slowly the liquidator is brought within that same parameter where the liquidator will be expected to render their function, probably subject to certain level, to certain extent, subject to the direction of the SEC. As our friend has said, at least COC restricted to financial creditors. Okay,
yes,
but
sir, there is one more major problem. Is it only a consultation or the voting result, voting also as required as per the CIRP notes, or only mere consultation? If
it
voting
looks
also,
like that.
Voting also.
It looks like that. It looks like that.
You mean only consultation?
No, it looks like all resolutions have to be passed. For example, if the bidder is successful, then you have to pass a resolution that this successful bidder has passed and he is being given the successful bid. If it is rejected, you have to call for a resolution again. Each and everything will go through a resolution process only.
No,
How come
resolution like the voting also, because voting will take
also.
another. Then it is costly and time consuming.
Yes, definitely. It needs voting also.
It only, actually speaking 31A, it only says SEC should advise on following matters. It started like that. Okay. Now, after that, if you see subsection 10, okay, the advice of consultation committee shall not be binding on liquidator. Subsection 10 of 31A. Okay, provided that where liquidator takes a decision different from the advice given by the consultation committee, he shall record the reason for the same in writing and submit the records relating to said decision to the adjudicating authority and to the board within 5 days of said decision and include it in the next report. This is substituted by IBBI notification 16th September 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. So here consultation committee voting is specifically provided not less than 66% voting to replace the liquidator. To replace the liquidator. You can refer to subsection 11 of 31A. Okay. For other things, it's not expressly providing. If you see subsection 9 also, the consultation committee shall advise the liquidator by a vote of not less than 66% of the representative. It says voting. What they are trying to say by this subsection 9.
Yeah.
What they try to say by that? That means
Says that you have to get a
that
voting
means that it
resolution have to
started.
pass.
If you see, subsection 1 starts with the word advice. Subsection 1. Subsection 9 converting that advice into the form of 66% voting. I think participants, if you have a provision, you want me to show the provision because the amended, I have to go to the IBBI site and show.
Yes, that's what I raised the point.
You wanted? Already downloaded, but still I thought searching here is simpler than searching my downloading. I think it's this itself not fully updated. Problem that only here, 31. See 31, this only I said. Consultation committee shall advise the liquidator by vote not less than 66% of participants. What does it mean that we have to understand? 9.
Present and voting.
Sorry? Yeah, it says voting. See
Present.
here, it says advice on the following matter. Section 1. Section 9 says shall advise the liquidator by vote not less than 60%, 66%. That voting word has been inserted. 39. When it has been inserted 16 September 22, that voting word. So that means what precisely what our friend said. Any inputs on that? I think more than 111. So if you are all keeping quiet, then you are all ready to pass a resolution of SEC. You are prepared for that?
There.
So we are getting ready to pass resolution, not only now COC, now also SEC.
At least they are saying, and again they are saying voting.
So I think this particular point we need to
advise, even if advice should be there. Sir, I'm saying even if we advise that such provision should not be introduced, do you think it will have any impact on the way IBBI wants to go ahead?
see, again, if you see subsection 9, though it says shall advise the liquidator by vote, all that, but 10 says advice shall not be binding, but it has to be communicated by the liquidator. The decision has to be, submitted to the AA adjudicating authority and board. So that means even it says voting, then word voting has been inserted actually. So that means voting only. Even
No.
Yeah.
There is, you please read that because it is said earlier it was present and voting. Now the present is removed, only voting is there.
Correct. Now voting is there. Now voting.
Yes, but that is the one I already said. It is it will cost you more and time consuming. But anyway,
voting only it is now it says by voting. Okay. So instead of physical, now it can be either way. Okay, that's what that word is removed present.
Correct. That okay. I also face the problem.
Voting. That means even with that voting also it says that it is not binding on liquidator, but liquidator is duty bound to submit the that why he is not taking the decision of the advice of the SEC to adjudicating authority and board. I think with that we can stop. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right because it's subject to ratification only. Okay, God.
Yeah, now there is no point of already what is introduced in the provision to be deliberated here. Now we are here to deliberate whatever introduced.
Correct.
Okay, so fine. Now we're going to next one. Point number 5. Now coming to point number 5. The liquidator may sell the assets of the corporator by means of private sale only after prior consultation with the SCC, and the successful buyer shall also be confirmed after such consultation. So even for this also, prior sale also, SCC has to be consulted. Earlier, if you know that it is sufficient, we are filing an application before adjudicating authority and taking approval of adjudicating authority for trade sale. Now it is now added. This item also now got added for the approval of the SCC. Means by way of advice, for the advice of the SCC.
Sir, please go a little fast because there are some more important points coming down.
Fine. Point number 6. Regulation 34, again 4A and 4B. The regulation may provide.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt. Earlier point, NCLT approval is not required now. Only
No,
SCC.
Now it is in addition to NCLT only, because private sale. Now they are saying prior consultation with the SCC is important before
Going to NCLT.
Before going into private sale.
Okay.
Correct.
Private sale. Yeah. Now point number 6. So this is again regulation 34. Now regulation subregulation 4A and 4B is proposed to be inserted in regulation 34. Regulation may provide that liquidator should list all assets of the CD as per the asset memorandum on a listing platform in a manner to be notified to the. So we have to wait and see the IBBI to notify, which would significantly improve the visibility of the assets, reduce information, simplify the process of potential bidders. Each asset listed should contain all material information about the asset, such as status of the attachment, lien. All this has to be given. It should be listed. And likely date of the action. By listing assets much earlier than the action date, the process would ensure greater engagement for the prospective bidder and availability of more time with the bidder for due diligence, leading to more competitive. I request the participants to give inputs on this so that we can deliberate more on this. I think is there any point? I think the IBBI should come out with a listing platform, what should be, how it should be, and all that IBBI has to come. Or exactly want to go see the regulation 34, what exactly it sounds. Yeah. See, it is going to be regulation 34. Right. I'll show you here. Oh, this is something else, right? Yeah. See now, this is the provision which is going to come by virtue of that proposal. By virtue of that proposal, the class 4A and 4B sub-regulation, in 4 of regulation 34 is going to be inserted. It says that 4A says the liquidator shall list all assets of the corporator as per the asset memorandum on a listing platform in the manner to be notified by board. And 4B, each listed asset shall contain all material information about the assets, such as status of the attachment, what is written there. I think whatever there in the proposal, they brought it here. Hope it is fine.
Correct. Yeah. Sir, you missed the point number 8 too regarding reserve price.
Yeah.
Number the proposal.
That
you missed it or skipped that. Yeah.
No, I'll come. Everything is covered. Order may be changing little here and there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Point number 7. The liquidator shall be mandated to hold the meeting of the SCC in such a way that interval between two. Now it is going to be monthly meeting. Correct? It's going to be monthly meeting.
Yes, it is monthly meeting.
Yes.
And all liquidators should enjoy monthly meeting, having a monthly meeting. So now it is good. And they are making it very clear that the 30 days time should not be exceeded.
Only thing is.
So like every month.
That should be not 30 days. That should.
Yeah, I
that
think.
should not be 30 days. It should be at least 60 days.
Yeah, something like that.
Between one meeting and the other.
Yeah, something they
Between
have
one
to,
meeting and the other meeting.
they have to do.
See, for example, if you take up one assignment,
Okay.
we are having 3 assignments, for example.
Hmm.
3 assignments. Think about the fate. You'll
Yeah.
be just looking at it only meetings. Nothing
Yes.
more than that. It is like what to say, our Jaspal Bhatti का जो जैसा meetings होता है ना, ऐसे करेंगे.
You have to ready to dedicate your life. If more than few liquidation, if any person is taking it, assignments we are going to take, then as you said, the month has got 30 days only. Okay. Then
And maximum you have only 6 meetings you can make. Maximum.
We recommend
6.
for minimum 60 days. We recommend, but that is correct.
So what is
People-
the words, what is going to be substituted, that shall convene subsequent meeting such that the period between 2 consecutive meetings does not exceed 30 days. Further, he may convene other meetings on a request received from one or more member apart from that.
Correct.
That is what I said. When you sell an asset, you will be calling an SEC again.
Okay. So now in subregulation 6, they are going to insert this particular point.
We
So,
strongly recommend for minimum 60 days.
60 days, right?
Yeah.
Madam Anjali, madam, I think you should, of course, with other feedbacks, we'll give this also. Madam, we should be 60 days, ma'am. 30 days, very short. And I think every liquidator will be spending time only in liquidation, nothing else they can do. Even family time cannot be given by liquidator. Little the liquidator be seen in a messy eyes. Okay. They are also
Sir,
human.
I would suggest that it should be 90 days, once in a quarter.
I don't think IBBI will accept once in a quarter. But anyway, we will suggest at least it should be 60 days. If it would be 90 days, it would be well and good. And they will be giving a big relaxation to liquidator. Anyway, they are giving a rights that the members can call in case of any meeting.
Yes.
That right is given already. They may. That means they anytime they may request also if they want.
They may request, we also can hold.
We also can hold, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
90 days will be fine.
Yeah. And here, if you see, he may convene other meetings on a request received from one or more members. So any one consultation member, committee member request, then also it should be considered.
But I think there is a minimum percent of 33%, no? 33%.
No,
It is not.
attendance they will come, but requisition I'm saying. It says he may convene other meeting on a request received from one or more members.
That one member should have 33% quorum.
Probably what they mean that.
For example, sir, we called, for
Yeah.
example, a person in COC meetings, if a person wants to call, that concerned team or that group should contain 33% voting percentage. Then only they can call for a meeting, right? The same thing should appear here.
That clarity is coming. Is it coming here? That clarity.
It is not. It is not there.
That only we need to discuss. That clarity should come. The clarity what is coming there should come here because it says one or more. It doesn't say one and more. Or it doesn't say that, okay, some numbers, some percentage, nothing. So that means even one member will have a right to request. Then the liquidator will have an option to say no. If one member, no, that also not given.
So
that
unnecessary.
Liquidator will not have an option. Liquidator doesn't have an option. They left it open. Liquidator to decide. Later become answerable to IBBI if they don't conduct.
That is in the general provision, I think. That's what
No,
I
sir,
am
there is
looking for.
one line which says further he may convene.
Yeah.
So he may convene. So he has got that liberty to say to that person, we will have the meeting in the next coming days. That's what he has to tell.
Correct. He may convene. So the option is given.
May convene. It is not shall convene. Shall
Correct.
means it is
Option
definite.
Option is given to liquidator. Correct.
Option is given to liquidator.
So liquidator can even exercise that option and say that no, I will conduct little later, or can conduct some particular date or something like that.
Yeah, he can tell a date.
But every month one meeting is going to be there.
So he can tell that the next meeting is here.
Liquidator should consult the other members also, sir.
Yes. And preparedness and urgency of the
preparedness and one member is asking, are you interested in attending the meeting? COC?
Yes.
Shall I conduct or not?
Correct.
The liquidator should take decision on this.
Good.
Sir,
So,
for example, if you want to convene an SEC meeting, you call all the financial creditors or whoever the stakeholders are, get their timings, then you fix the timing, then you call for the SEC meeting. You don't, just like that, the liquidator doesn't call, I'm calling such and such date. You first of all call them, confirm, then you do the thing. This is what is done in almost all SEC meetings, because you want everybody's participation.
If they respond quickly, well and good. Okay, that only is a good thing actually.
And I am telling one more point. So if the one of these SEC members is having more majority, they may ask us to conduct the meeting, and the liquidator should accept it also.
Yeah, correct. See, if they want
that is main point.
If they want to do so,
voting share is more, they may ask.
There's nothing wrong that they should
nothing
not.
wrong is there. And the
Yeah,
liquidator should consult other people also, in my view.
Good. So, next point, that liquidator shall seek suggestions, observations of SEC on the draft preliminary report and finalize it after considering such suggestion, observation, and thereafter submit it to AA board and members of SEC. So now, earlier and all, SEC was not involved to submit the preliminary report. Now SEC also should be involved to submit preliminary report. That's what it is now. So
time limit is again 15 minutes, same only for preliminary report, not for progress.
No, it's only preliminary report only, it says. I will show you exactly is the provision.
75 days, no? Still it is there.
See, wait. Okay. Liquidator shall submit the preliminary report to AA board committee within 7 days from date of.
Yes. 75 days is there.
Okay, same 75 days. That has not got changed.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So next one. Point number 9. Reserve price in an e-action is reduced. Now they omitted 4A, which gives liberty to liquidator to reduce 25%.
Fine.
Sorry?
I think this is fine, sir.
Yeah. I think it's okay. Only 10% is good. Otherwise, there's no point. If 75% is reduced, then nothing. So every time only 10% can be reduced. That first time reduction of 75% is done away. Going to be. Means it is in the proposal to do away. Okay. Point number 10. The liquidator to place a reason for liquidation cost exceeding the estimates of liquidation cost before SEC and discuss ways to rationalize the same by presenting cost and benefit analysis of various expenses if it exceeds the estimated cost mentioned in the preliminary report, or if it exceeds 10% of the liquidation value of the CD. So now the reason has to be placed. So exceeding the estimates of liquidation cost before SEC. Now we just like a COC where the RP is expected to give the reason, if it is a budget is exceeded. Same way now. Sorry?
So there is a good condition, the condition that only if it exceeds 10% of the liquidation value, not the liquidation cost, if it exceeds.
Okay.
So that is quite okay. Seems to be explainable. Seems to be, according to me.
We will see how it is inserted. We will see.
Sir, in some instances, the liquidation
These
value
are the
may
2
be
points. These are 2 points inserted. These are 2 points is getting inserted. Okay. In regulation 31, consultation committee, in that these 2 points are getting inserted as class H and class I. So actual liquidation cost exceeding the estimated liquidation cost, then we need to seek advice of SEC. Then same way actual liquidation cost exceeding 10% of liquidation value of the corporator, we need to seek the advice of the SEC. Right? Is there any other point in this to discuss?
674562.
Correct?
562.
Yeah. So now next point is that liquidator shall facilitate the meeting wherein the register valuer shall explain the methodology being adopted to arrive at valuation to the consultation committee before finalization of valuation report. Section 30, regulation 35(2) and regulation 35(5) is getting amended. Means proposed for amendment. Is there any inputs on that? I can show you the exact amendment.
So
What is-
even now CRP valuation is of no use in liquidation.
See? Yeah, naturally, because when you take input of SEC, they will say no. They may say no to it. Where the liquidator, this is getting, means proposed to be inserted in regulation 35, which talks about valuation. Okay. And where the liquidator is of the opinion that, for that they are replacing that and inserting where the liquidator after consultation with the consultation committee under regulation 31A, that means he has to consult first. Okay. He should be submitted, he should go for valuation. So where a fresh valuation is undertaken as regulation 2, the liquidator shall facilitate. Okay, so even if fresh valuation is advised by SEC, then after that the liquidator shall facilitate a meeting wherein the valuer can explain the methodology being adopted. That means the valuer should be made to explain how the valuation is done to the consultation committee before finalization of valuation report. So that means, suppose the SEC disagrees the method or manner of a registered valuer valuation, then whose decision is final? Because registered valuer is a separate professional who was qualified and after following the process registered to give a valuation report. Now suppose that SEC is going to comment on something on the method, then registered valuer is going to say that
no, there is a provision that SEC disagrees. The liquidator has the option to file in Form A to IBBI and others. And why he is not agreeing as going ahead with the SEC recommendation? There is a provision.
Anyway, you have that for 31A, you have that provision. But
yes.
Here for valuation also, you have to make all the registered valuer to come and be before the SEC, and the SEC should, if they have any methodology to suggest, they will suggest the methodology to registered valuer, then they have to accordingly finalize the valuation report.
That is
because it says before finalization of valuation report. That means the SEC has to concur. If they are not concurring, then again the liquidator should report to the AA and board, and then he should say, Mr. Oliver, okay, go ahead, after giving a reason why he is not going by that methodology. Right? Is it okay? Is there any suggestions or any inputs on this? No. We'll make registered valuer to come and present themselves before SEC. Let's see how it happens. Sorry?
Actually, there is some as per CRP regulation and this IBBI, the registered value as per the liquidation fair value, you have to be give the valuation. So what we will give the valuation as per the consultation committee, because he is mind about the law, it is a procedures which is liquidation of fair value. Why he will do it himself?
No, they wanted to involve SEC in each and every process of the liquidation.
No, I am asking for the valuation report. Valuation report is only given in the regulation. That is, he will give the fair value, liquidation value.
No, 35 regulation
And
says
they also define
liquidation also. Fresh valuation can be carried out under section regulation 35 of liquidation regulation. Fresh valuation can be carried out, no, under regulation 35. Then they are saying you have to go and take advice. Regulation 35, if you see, under subregulation 1, valuation conducted under regulation 35 of a CARP regulation, or under regulation 34 of fast track, all that, the regulator shall consider the average of estimate value arrived. That talks about regulation 1. Regulation 2 talks about in case that not covered regulation 1, or where the liquidator is of the opinion that fresh valuation is required. Now, the liquidator, even though in the opinion, he has to consult with SEC to conduct the evaluation. Okay? Now, regulation 35 is getting amended. Into point number 12, the liquidator shall share the evaluation report with the SEC.
अच्छा ये वो निशांत का मैसेज वीडियो वेरिफिकेशन करेगा तो उसको आधार कार्ड लगेगा कि वो कुछ जरूरत नहीं है
Madam, it become public forum. People are keep
उसको पकड़ के रखना पड़ेगा कि जरूरत नहीं है अभी चेंज हो गया सब
Can you mute them?
पूछ लो आप पूछ के कर वो बताओ ना या
Yeah, point number 12, the liquidator shall share the valuation report with the SEC members. So, is there any point in that? Now liquidator is also given an obligation after taking their advice to conduct valuation, after making registered valuer to represent and take the inputs of the SEC, the valuation report copy should be given to SEC members. Is that okay? Okay. Point number 13. Again, regulation 31(6)(a) has been now going to be altered. In all cases where liquidation proposes to continue, liquidator proposes to continue or initiate any legal proceeding before any authority, he shall seek advice of consultation committee. Upon a seek consult, after presenting the economic rationale for the proposal, consolidated status of all the legal proceedings shall be placed before the consultation committee in its every meeting. That means, going forward, if liquidator proposes to continue or initiate any legal proceeding before any authority, he shall seek advice of SEC first. Anything else to discuss here or any inputs here?
A point is your transaction application. What role SEC has? It's the duty of the liquidator or the RP to file the transaction audit report.
Okay.
Transaction application is to be filed by, and where is the SEC coming in this picture?
This is the point what we are discussing.
Where is SEC involved?
I don't know.
Why it should be? First point is why it should be. When you are making the
beneficiary. See, one line is beneficiary. SEC is the beneficiary. So they wanted to, they're supposed to know everything.
Fine, sir, agreed. But that doesn't mean that, see, in one side you are saying that you are making the RP or the liquidator to be penalized in all fronts. And for each and everything, if he starts going and asking the SEC will say, what is that transaction? How the transaction happened? They
will send to their legal
cell. How about it, first of all?
No, they will send to the legal cell. They will take the legal cell. No, the SEC member will send the whatever detail given by liquidator to their legal cell for taking advice. Okay? Yes. And their legal cell will respond. Again, you have to take opinion that whatever they are saying is wrong. Okay. First of all, you have to convince them. Then only we can proceed with the legal proceedings.
Sir, this, based on my recent experience, this is a good amendment because earlier under Regulation 35, it was necessary to take the direction or the order of the NCLT, Honorable NCLT, but here it is only the opinion of the SEC. It is a good move, but
this is additional.
Only one point, because the liquidation voluntary winding up or they may delay this may delay the winding up or closure. But anyway, that also the IBBI has taken care of subsequently. So this is a good amendment according to me.
Good. Then before initiating any legal proceeding, we will take advice.
No, consult the SEC, but earlier.
This is the amendment proposed, the exact language.
Yes.
What is shown in the screen is a language.
Yeah, okay, advice. Okay. Can be oral or written.
He shall seek advice.
Yes.
Madam, I think there's a crosstalk, I think. Someone is talking. Okay. Now, see, this is the amendment proposed by IBBI to insert 6A.
Yeah.
In 6A in class in Regulation 31A. 6A in Regulation 31A. So,
sir, here it says very clearly what the existing cases which you are running. For example.
Yeah, tell me.
Please unmute.
Yeah, please.
Hello?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, for example, previously the liquidator had filed certain applications for recovery of money or whatever transaction application. Now, when this proposal comes in, when this amendment comes in, what happens is he has to again put these applications in front of the SEC, take their advice whether I need to continue this or not. Is it right? And one more thing is, can a liquidator or an RP withdraw his application from NCLT on the advice of SEC? Can it withdraw? Can it withdraw the application? He has no rights. It has to be adjudicated whether it is for or against, whatever might be. NCLT has the superpower. And where is the SEC now coming in and saying that they will advise don't go for the application? Will they do it?
So this is a point clearly mentioned. It is become applicable only from the date of notification in the official gazette. 1. 2. The pending applications, the fate we can ask for a direction. I think so. I don't know.
But one thing is, now it says very categorically, sir,
yes,
whatever the cases you have put for in front of the NCLT, you have to go and take an advice from the SEC, whether I need to run this case or not.
It is to continue or word continue.
Yeah, continue.
May I add?
Continue or initiate. So
Sir,
continue such case, both.
And can you withdraw the application before NCLT? Transaction application, you can never withdraw.
May I add, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, in my view also, this seems to be a good provision or a welcome step from IBBI.
Yes.
You know why I'm saying so? For every liquidator, if we read this 33.5, it use only 2 words, continuation or initiation. So that means the moratorium is over after commencement of liquidation. So whatever proceedings which were pending or which was stayed during the moratorium in the CRP period will again start. And as a liquidator, say for example, there are certain tax litigations going on, right? So there are certain statutory revenue litigations going on in a company. And we all liquidator know that if there is a tax litigation, it will fall in very below in the waterfall, which is like 53(1)(e) or 53(1)(f). But as a liquidator, how will you leave the litigation in between and let the matter be decided in favor of, say, tax department, knowingly that the tax department will never be paid for that? because there will not be any funds available for distribution to the tax department, even if you lose that case. But the issue before the liquidator is, should we take that decision not to continue those proceedings and let any order be passed? And then somebody should not question upon the duties of the liquidator to protect the interest of the company and something like that. So if a rationale can be prepared, which every liquidator generally does, that if like I'm also a liquidator in company, so where if a rationale can be prepared by a liquidator seeing that there are say 100 litigations going on or 50 litigations going on, and what are the, if I lose everything, say every case goes against us, which generally happen in most of the cases also, because there will be a scarcity of the documents, the arguments will be weak, so most of the cases will go against the company and the liquidator. I'm not talking about the NCLT litigation, obviously the other cases, suit and proceedings, civil cases, whatever it is.
What others are saying, what is wrong in taking the input anyway, they are also going to be in support of the liquidator.
Right. At the end of the day, there will be a rational and a support from SEC whether to fight it or not to, because at the end of the day, we spend a lot of money as a liquidation cost on defending those cases, which even if we lose, there will not be any outgo from the liquidation fund, because they fall very below to the waterfall mechanism. So there will be some support from SEC for that, as well as direct or indirect call to proceed or not to proceed.
We'll see. I think few members feel that it's a good thing only. Rather, liquidator independently handling something, let him also take advice of SEC, so that SEC also into picture in legal proceeding. So since
right, sir, this decentralization will reduce the accountability of liquidator also.
Exactly.
That also I think.
To some extent, accountability of that way, positive way, we have to take it in the positive sense, that they are reducing the accountability of the liquidator. If it reduces, well and good, that will help liquidator who are already struggling, no, at least little their responsibility is getting reduced, no.
And all the more, while taking their consent, take the provision for expenses also by SEC from the realization before disbursement.
Okay. Fine. Now coming to point number 14, because we are almost 30 now. Coming to point number 14, and the event of running a business of CD is economically unviable, the liquidator shall consult the SEC to decide whether to keep the CD as a going concern or otherwise. In case SEC decides not to run the business of CD as a going concern, then the liquidator shall act as per the advice of CD. Here it is very clear. The liquidator should act, it says. So here also it's very important that but
it is economically unviable. What is the point in carrying on? That is correct only. Why should we carry on?
Yeah. So that's what here the provision also says. I'll show you the exact provision. See, this is a provision. It is getting inserted as point number.
Here, the liquidator should take responsibility to see that it is really economically unviable. That he has to prepare the grounds properly.
Okay. So that means here it's going to be inserted that the consultation committee advises liquidator not to continue the business of corporator on a ground of it being economically unviable. Liquidator shall act. Then okay. Then when it is uneconomical, why we have to do that?
Absolutely.
That's the idea of board. Okay. Now coming to point number 15, regulation 31A, again 1F, where liquidator is unable to sell the CD as a going concern through though business of the CD is running as a going concern. He shall inform the reason for such failure to SEC and seek its advice to review the marketing strategy already adopted for previous action to attract potential bidders in future actions.
This is fine.
Yeah, I think it's not that level anything is going to.
No.
Good. Point number 16, again, it's schedule 2 and form which it's coming. A liquidator may assign assets underlying process for preferential, undervalued, and fraudulent transaction referred in 43 to 51 and 66, even before adjudication. So, So that means the liquidator may assign the asset.
Fine. This is also fine, sir.
Yeah, underlying. With that, he can assign. That's what it says. So that it ease out the liquidator to assign.
Correct.
Even,
Come out of the.
yeah, even if it is a pending thing. Correct. So point number 17 again.
But there it should be added how already it is there in the regulation. How it is, we have to give a report saying how it should be dispersed when it is assigned, when it is recovered, how it should be dispersed. That is already there in the provision in the regulation.
Yeah. So in this now, point number 17, it says that before applying to AA for early dissolution, the liquidator shall mandatorily consult again SEC. Again, early dissolution. Naturally, if SEC is there when the company is going to be dissolved, they have to seek their views and recommendation. The liquidator shall provide a detailed report of consultation, the views of SEC in the application to the AA. So naturally, when other matters, when SEC is consulted, naturally, this early dissolution, the SEC should be involved. That's what the point. Hope I don't think any negative view on that. So now point number 8, where a request for withdrawal is received from the claimant, the board shall direct the liquidator in all such cases where a dissolution order, process closure order has not been passed for verification of the claim. This includes checking legitimacy of the claim and amount involved and any other detail. Both liquidator shall submit their finding and opinion to IBBI to enable it to permit withdrawal even before dissolution. This is the point number regulation 46 it talks about. I'll show you the regulation 46. 13. So how it is going to be inserted. 13. Yeah. So this is the provision going to be inserted. Provided that where a claim for withdrawal has been received after submission. So this is going to be inserted in regulation 46 after subregulation 8. This is going to be inserted as a proviso that provided that where a claim for withdrawal under subregulation 7 has been received after the submission of dissolution application, but before the order of dissolution, the board shall direct the liquidator just to take inputs of liquidator. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead. This is nothing but the board is taking the opinion report of the liquidator before proceeding with the further on the accepting the withdrawal of claim by the stakeholder. I hope so. I think yeah.
Sir, there is a very important point regarding NRRA, not readily realizable asset.
Okay.
We can transfer it with the consent of the SEC, but such an asset is legally not valid. For example, in a sham deal of land, the land is in the custody of the company, but not in the revenue records. So it is not readily realizable.
Okay.
So can we, whether the buyer will get such a title later on that? You have any idea? It's a specific problem only. Sorry for disturbing all.
Revenue record, you are telling it is not showing in the revenue record.
Because it is a sham deal.
Because it is?
Under a sham deal. Because land mafia has sold it to somebody else.
Okay. Scam.
Okay.
That means there is no property at all.
It is in the revenue, but it is already pledged for the company.
I got it. That means see, when there is no asset, see, there is a doctrine in the Transfer of Property Act. There is a doctrine.
Yes.
The buyer will not get the title more than what the seller has. As
Absolutely.
a seller, you should have a title.
No, one cannot transfer what he does not possess. That's what you mean.
Yeah, correct. If something
so, but here, but the property is already mortgaged and it is later transferred, and it is now our NRRA. So that means that will not come under NRRA, or is it? It will not be an onerous property, correct?
If still the buyer is ready to buy it, you can give what is there. The buyer is ready.
Due diligence should be done.
Yeah. Then the buyer.
The person who is taking.
Yeah, let him.
He is ready, but on condition that if he is not getting the title, we have to refund the money with interest. we said, SEC said not possible.
No, that's what I'm saying. When there's no clarity, there's no point of giving that kind of undertaking that money will be returned. Already there's no clarity. So it should be with risk only he is taking. That's why he's getting a price.
As is, where is, what is, or without record. Yeah,
place.
you are right. No, I was just clarifying, that's all.
Good. These are the points that they have in a discussion paper. So if any specific point that we have to add.
Sir, I have a very specific point, sir, here. Stakeholder means it constitutes all the creditors.
Yeah.
So very difficult to get approval from them. And percentage, normally in most of the cases, it will be financial creditors only. That is all right. But where many unsecured financial creditors are there, where there are no secured creditors, but only unsecured financial creditors, voting should be from normally also all the creditors, but if secured creditors are there, they are covered under the majority clause, so there is no problem. How to compute this percentage and whose decision should be taken? Stakeholders means definition of stakeholder may be clearly spelled out instead of including all. So nobody, operational creditor is not interested in sale of assets. But we are required to get his approval also, send notice to them also. So it is a laborious procedure where it is not required at all. So some sort of clarification is required on this aspect.
Probably we can tell Madam Anjali, Madam, to give no input, feedback on this. Because since this is only a feedback session, so we can only, what are the difficulty that we are facing, we can really escalate and give the feedback. Probably they can consider that also. I think Madam must be taking it now.
Madam, I have a small experience on that. Let me explain. In the case of a real estate I'm facing frequently, then I am opting for section 23A of for the home buyers. With the voting of that 51% voted and take the advantage of major 100%. 1. 2. In the case is still they are not objecting, I am opting for 41 with the form A. Approach the IBBI. That's what I'm doing.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. It is not real estate. Even in other cases also, where the stake of unsecured financial creditors is more, not with respect to real estate companies, getting approval of 66% is becoming very difficult.
Correct.
Approaching other creditors, so many people, so many intervention, to get that 66 is really difficult in such cases. So I would like IBBI to spell out the SEC voting results, how it should be obtained. Those who are not interested also, we have to go at the back of them in certain cases, not in all the cases. So that is really posing a very big problem.
Okay.
One more suggestion from my side, sir.
Yeah.
There should be some timeline also. Suppose we are filing any petition and submit it before stakeholder committee, and they tell that we have to take obtain advice from our law department. It will take 4 or 5 days. It unnecessary delay. So there should be some timeline that suppose in SEC meeting it is finalized that within 3 days or 2 days it has not been replied, then it will be treated that it is approved. Like that, some wording should be there.
Like COC, we were expecting some guideline for them. We need a guideline for SEC also to some extent.
Correct.
Let's see what we will give our feedback to. I think Madam would have noted, no, Anjali Madam, or I will also give my feedback to her. So probably like COC, and of course COC themselves, they are not able to bring it out that level since there's intervention of the Bank of India. Probably IBBI could not take complete this thing on COC. But SEC, I think IBBI can give some kind of a direction code or some guideline for SEC to follow, so that they will also unnecessarily they will not delay. Okay, unnecessarily they will not delay, or they will not. They will at least give a cooperation. Some guideline is there. Okay, I think good. I think we can escalate this to IBBI to consider this point. Ma'am, Anjali Madam, is there anything else to do, ma'am? And I can update you my feedback little later after this session.
Sure, sir. You can share your feedback by Friday. And the participants, if they want, they can also.
Yeah, it's online. We can go to the IBBI site and
Yes, you can go there also, or you can share with me also.
directly still it is open. Online we can give our.
What's your email ID, madam?
Email ID is anjali.gupta@icsi.edu.
We can
I will send a CP mailer mail on that reply you can give.
Ma'am, here you can go, madam. You can. Oh, my screen. I have not. Okay.
Put it in the chat box, madam. Your email ID, please.
Madam, I'm showing the screen. No, you can go to the public comment here.
Okay, yeah, that is there, of course.
You can see here. It is on.
Yeah, we are doing that already.
Yes, ma'am. Madam, can we close, ma'am?
In a PPT,
Yes, sir.
there, sir.
I'll share, sir.
Kindly share the PPT, sir.
I'll share.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your patient listening, and we'll see you all again.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable suggestions and all the participants.
Thank you, madam. Thanks a lot. Thank you all.
I will send the CP mailer on that email ID. You can reply your suggestions.
Fine. Sure. Fine.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.